Dissociate by Emma Evans. This piece is based on real stories. The first thing you notice about the slaughterhouse when you walk in is the smell. They said I'll get used to it after a few weeks, but it always knocks me backwards. A wave of nausea every time I arrive to work. It's the 10th of July, sufferingly hot. It's always worse on days like today. A stench so strong you can smell it from the car. It's an overpowering mix of feces and blood that I can never seem to get off me, even when I'm home. My workmates and I are banned from the local pub where we used to drink after work. Sorry guys, there's been quite a lot of complaints about the smell. As soon as I step onto the floor, I shudder. The building is mostly made up of walk-in freezers and is open plan, so I spend most of the day shivering with my teeth clenched. The only time I sweat is when I'm chasing or murdering. I step into my overalls, the stench that clings to the fabric overwhelming me as it goes over my head. I pull on my wellies, stained with splatters of blood, and I put on my gloves. Once the outfit is on, I take the time to disassociate. If I think about what I'm doing, I'll lose my job. The day starts with the killing. Today it's pigs. I always jump at the first scream, then it's back to business. In the 9 years I've been doing this, I have never seen an animal ready to die. That is, unless they're a dairy cow who has been beaten, abused, had her babies taken away, and has given up completely. We call them downer cows. The pigs are grunting, looking around wide-eyed as we stun them. It's supposed to knock them unconscious while we cut their throats. One pig begins to regain consciousness as I approach it to cut the throat. It thrashes its arms and legs in the air as it hangs from the ceiling. Back round it goes to be stunned again. Maybe it will be second time lucky. At least it woke up then and not as it gets lowered into a boiling tank to scald its hairs off. That's when the screams are the loudest. There's always a sense of relief when the screaming, crying, shrieking and groaning stops. The hardest part is over. Although they aren't squealing, the pigs are still twitching. The muscle fibers shudder on an empty body for up to a few minutes until finally, they hang limp. The sounds of the animals are replaced by the whirring of machinery. Saws, conveyors and chains rattle, clunk and scratch as the carcasses are processed. We work on the meat while the bin filled with their eyes watches from across the room. They are used for something else. Most things are. The sounds of running water are a constant soundtrack. We are constantly rinsing blood away, in marbles of the water swirling and trickling down the drains by our feet. Have you heard how Jake's doing, mate? Someone behind me asks. I haven't. Jake is 16, only started at the slaughterhouse a few months ago. He tried to kill a large pig to see if he could. Some sort of test of his masculinity, most likely. The lad didn't have his kill license yet. Some sort of way of proving himself, I guess. He tried to stun the pig, but just made it angry. We were on a break and came running when we heard the pig's screams. And Jake's. The pig had lashed out in fear, shattering Jake's ribs and hips and puncturing his lung. We had no update after the ambulance took him. It's an occupational hazard. You have to learn to deal with it.